You feel like you've lost your way. The map you trusted is torn. Every turn feels wrong, every step uncertain. Have you ever felt like life pushed you off the path you were meant to walk? Like everything you built just stopped making sense? Maybe it wasn't failure. Maybe it was redirection. What if you aren't lost at all? What if life is quietly redirecting you?
Some mornings feel like a mistake. The alarm rings and the road ahead looks unfamiliar. The job, the routine, the promises you made, they sound empty. You walk, but the path has become a shadow of expectation. You try to remember who you were, and your reflection answers with a question mark. Loss arrives in many forms. A job lost, a dream paused, a relationship that lukewarmly died, or the quiet theft of meaning that happens after too many things go wrong. When that loss lands, the world asks you to keep moving, but inside, everything asks you to stop.
Remember the day it all shifted? You thought it was a single event, a call, a bill, a slammed door, but it was not a single event. It was the slow erosion of trust in what you'd built. Small things gathered, an unpaid bill, a missed call, a disappointed face, and then one morning the whole scaffolding simply collapsed. You try explanations. I wasn't ready. I didn't plan well. It was bad timing. Those reasons are all real, but there is another reason you rarely say aloud. Something inside you needed to change. People who have never walked through the quiet do not understand how loud silence can be. It hollows you out until there's only one small question left. Why am I doing this? That question is not punishment. It's the first step to being redirected. Stay with me. For the next few minutes, I'll show you how even the darkest path can point you forward.
The void feels like nothing. But emptiness is not absence. It is space. Space for the old to fall away. Space for something else to grow. Think of a road that ends at a cliff. You panic, but the cliff forces you to look at the sky, to consider where else you might walk. When you stop, you notice small things. The direction of the wind, the color of the light, the patterns in your own breath. Those things are tiny compasses. Here are 3 things the void teaches you, if you are willing to learn. First, what you wanted was often someone else's version of success. Second, the pain points toward what matters. Third, when everything external fails, the inner compass is the only true map.
There was a man who woke one morning to find his store empty, not because of robbery, but because customers had left. For years, he had measured himself by hours of work and receipts. Standing in that silent shop, he realized he'd been selling his life for numbers. The next season, he reopened, not as a merchant of things, but as a maker of small, meaningful goods. He lost profit at first. He found peace. That's redirection.
If you are thinking, that's not me, hold on. The stories I'll tell are not just theirs. They might very well be yours.
Redirection rarely arrives with fireworks. It whispers. A single sentence in a conversation, a sunrise you notice for the first time, a book left open. Signs are small, and that's why they're easy to miss. Let me give you 3 types of signs to look for: repeated nudges, sudden clarity, and stubborn curiosity. Maybe you keep meeting the same idea, always hearing about teaching, about helping, about the thing you denied. The universe does not shout much, it nudges. Sometimes a single image or an old memory arrives and you see yourself differently. It's like glasses clearing. The next step is obvious. Stubborn curiosity, you feel a tiny pull towards something you once loved. You keep returning in your mind, and it's not nostalgia, it's direction.
A teacher lost faith in schooling after a hard year. She took a job delivering parcels. On the route, a child asked about the world. For one moment, she taught him about storms, not because she was assigned, because she couldn't help it. That was the nudge. She started an evening circle for kids, then a program, then a small community of learners. Her life was redirected, not away from hardship, but toward meaning.
3 signs. How many of you noticed? Redirection asks one thing: your consent. The world will offer you evidence. You must say yes. That decision is not always dramatic. Often it is a series of small resurrections, choosing to wake earlier, to read, to sit with yourself, to stop saying later. Here's a simple practice to help you say yes. Call it the 3 steps of redirection. Use it every morning for 30 days. Step 1, quiet inventory. Ask, what did I lose and what did I gain? Write one honest answer to each. Keep it small. Step 2, tiny experimental action. Do one thing that aligns with your curiosity. Sketch, call someone, volunteer, learn a skill. Don't overcommit. Small experiments create confidence. Step 3, the micro ritual. At the end of your day, light a candle mentally. Say, today I followed a direction. This is not superstition. It trains your brain to look for evidence. Practice these steps and your inner compass will sharpen. Choices will stop feeling like punishments and begin to feel like directions. A woman spent years in a job she hated. She tried the 3 steps. She wrote that she lost time and gained endurance. She spent 20 minutes a day learning photography. She ended each day saying, "Today I followed a direction." After months, she had a portfolio. After a year, a small gallery invited her to show work. Her path changed because she let it. If you want, pause this video now and write the 2 answers for step 1. Come back in 60 seconds. I'll wait. When you begin to say yes to direction, something beautiful happens. Your losses become maps. The empty places in you are no longer holes to hide from. They are rooms for new light. Redirection does not promise ease. You will still stumble. There will be winter, but winters will have purpose. The wounds you carry will still throb, but they will point. You will wake with a question that helps you shape a day. You will find people who match your rhythm. You will meet the version of you who knows how to build, slowly and with fewer apologies. A warrior once stood at a crossroads just like yours. He watched the fog and waited for a sign. The sign arrived not as a voice, but as a small child who asked for a story. The warrior told it. In the telling, he found what he loved. He taught that child, then another. He never reclaimed his old castle, but he found something larger, a quiet community, a purpose stitched from stories and patient care. He learned that a redirected life can be fuller than the one you thought you wanted.
Maybe today you feel lost. Maybe you feel the map in your hands is blank. That blankness is not a sentence. It is a beginning. Walk slowly, look for the small signs, do one tiny thing, and say yes when the world asks you to go a different way. If this helps you feel a little less lost, like a quiet hand on your shoulder, then let this be your first small action. Subscribe so these stories can meet you on hard mornings. Share this with someone who's standing at a crossroads, and in the comments, write one small nudge you've noticed. I read every one.